about to die. Salute you.
Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? We are back with another tournament. We have the super welterweight division. Since the last tournament that I've done in this division, some things have been shaken up. Now we got some new players to the game. We have Alberto Puello and José Valenzuela. So I got to do another one. We still have the original players from the last one. We have Teofimo Lopez and we have Paro. And basically, I just want to see how these guys match up. Who will reign supreme and who will rise to the top and be the creme de la creme of this division once they all get it on. So let's just put these guys together. If you match up Teofimo Lopez with José Valenzuela, Valencia, I think I'm saying it right. I think he beats him. I think Jose barely made it out of there with Pitbull. I mean, that was an obvious fight. All he had to do was stay on the outside and kind of, you know, pot shot Pitbull. But in my eyes, it wasn't impressive. You know, a lot of people are saying, oh, Pitbull's exposed. Exposed what? We all know what he is. He's literally a Pitbull. He's just going to push you into the corner and then he's going to unload. That's it. And if you can stay in the center of the ring, or if you can just stay on your feet and pedal out of there, you should be good to go. Not to mention, if you have a steady jab, you should be good to go. So that wasn't anything shocking. But is what we saw from Jose capable of beating Teofimo Lopez? Absolutely not. I didn't see anything special. I didn't see anything grand. I didn't see anything... You know, granted, if you're fighting Pitbull, you know, you're probably going to look a certain way. But Pitbull is also the type of guy where if you have finesse, you can finesse with him. And there was no finesse. And I think if you're going to beat Teofimo Lopez, you're going to have a finesse game. You're going to have to be able to finesse. And, you know, in spots, there are going to be spots where you're going to have to fight. There are going to be spots where you're going to have to box. And there are going to be spots where you're going to have to finesse. And I don't see him out finessing Teofimo Lopez. And I also don't see him out boxing Teofimo Lopez. Now, I will say for the 140-pound division, Teofimo Lopez does not look particularly strong, especially in his last fight. He doesn't look particularly strong. And he still has his speed. He still has his creativity, but he's not strong at all. He's not strong at all. But I feel like with Jose, he doesn't necessarily need to be strong. I feel like he's a smarter fighter, Teofimo Lopez. And I feel like he can still set those traps. I feel like he still has the speed factor. And I also think he just has fast legs as well. So I don't necessarily think like he needs power to beat him. I think it would be a classic boxing match. And I think he can outbox him because I think he can match him. And I think he can outsmart him. I think he can put him in situations that he's uncomfortable with. It's easy to be uncomfortable in a situation with Pitbull because of the way how aggressive he is. But it's something else with a Teofimo Lopez, who's a trickster, and it's just gonna, you know, you're just gonna find yourself someplace and you don't know quite how you got there, and you don't know how to get out of it. And I think Teofimo Lopez, I think if you were to back up from him, especially somebody like a, you know, it's not going to be a good look. Teofimo, all he needs is confidence. And the more confidence he gets, he's going to run over you. And I just feel like he just has more finesse. I think he can outmatch him boxing, and I feel like he can out-finesse him. I also think Teofimo Lopez does show heart when he needs to. So I just don't see any area where Jose Valenzuela... Oh, I am destroying this name. I'm just going to say Jose. I don't see any way that he can beat Teofimo Lopez, quite frankly. I just don't see it. Now you have Alberto Puello versus Paro. This looks interesting and it looks difficult on paper, but when you break this fight down, it's not as difficult. Puello he is and he's not. There are times where he's aggressive, and there's times when he's not, and he's very passive. And he has low punch output. One thing you'll notice about Puello is when he's fighting at distance, even though he has these long arms, and he should fight at distance, he doesn't all the time. But when he is fighting at distance, he's not particularly accurate. That's one thing I noticed when I was looking at his films. He's not particularly accurate I don't understand why. He has really long arms, and and also he doesn't put anything on his jabs. His jabs are simply range finders. That's all they are. He doesn't put anything on them, and he's more reliant on his two from a distance, or a long body shot. And I don't like that. I don't understand why he does it. And when he does throw it, he really extends his legs. And I don't know. That's not to say that he does that wrong, but I think for his height, I think for his body type, and I think for how limber he is, or stringy his limbs are, I feel like he could be a lot more accurate. I also feel like he should be more comfortable fighting from a distance, because he doesn't seem very comfortable fighting from a distance. For some reason, Puello likes to get into a brawl a lot of times, or that's where you'll see his punch output pick up. And I don't like that for him, because I don't feel like he needs to, especially in a division like this. I don't feel like he needs to. He can just stay long and stay out of range, and I feel like he can be equally effective, probably even more effective. But like I said, I notice he's not particularly accurate when he's fighting at range. Now you look at Liam Paro. He is accurate when he's fighting at range. He's very accurate when he's fighting at range, and he knows how to tie guys up. Liam Paro is not a small guy. He might be the biggest guy of all four of these guys. Not might be, probably is. Puello, I haven't seen him blown out, but he is pretty tall. He's lanky. So I don't really, but I don't think he's bigger than Liam Paro. Liam Paro could literally just fight at 147, like right now, no problem. He could probably make his way up to 154 if he wanted to. So Liam Paro is not a small guy. And I look at how clean and crisp he is at distance. I look at how consistent Liam Paro is, because Puello is not a consistent guy. From fight to fight, he is not the same guy. He's either up or he's down, but he's not consistent across the board. And that's from fight to fight, but also he's not consistent from round to round. You look at Liam Paro, he's very consistent from round to round. You look at Liam Paro, he's very consistent from fight to fight. And I think he would still have his way with Puello. I think he's great at tying guys up. We saw that with Matias. He knows how to tie guys up. He does know how to fight in the inside when he has to, but he also knows how to tie guys up and frustrate them and make it so he can get back to his comfort zone and he can double and triple up on those jabs. So I honestly, I think he gets through Puello very easily, actually. Puello's not, like I said, he's not consistent. Because he's not consistent, he's not really that accurate. And he's going to have to fight Paro from a distance. He's going to have to. Paro hits harder, so he's going to have to. Whether he likes it or not. He's gonna dance his dance. He's going to dance Liam Paro's dance. And he's going to get tagged up all night, and his confidence is going to go super low. And his confidence, or his punch output, is connected to his confidence, and his punch output is going to go super low. And then he's just going to, like, be there. And he's going to be there for the picking. And I think Liam Paro will pick him off. So that brings us back to, it's funny. Initially, it was Liam Paro. And it was Teofimo Lopez. I believe it was. I'll have to go back and look at that. But here we go again. Liam Paro and Teofimo Lopez. I already said Teofimo Lopez is not particularly strong at 140. He's not knocking anybody out at 140. I mean, he doesn't look very strong at all. He's not backing anybody. I'm not even talking about punching power. I'm just saying, well, I am talking about punching power. But what I'm saying, knockout power. He's not even backing people off with his punches. He's just getting out of dodge or getting out of trouble with his punches. And there's a difference. If somebody hits hard, you're going to back up and you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to have to work my way in here. I'm just not going to walk in on it. Floyd Mayweather's that. It was Andre Berto who said, you know what, Floyd doesn't hit particularly hard, but he does hit hard enough to where he gets your respect. And I'm not just going to walk in on him. And it's the same thing with Teofimo Lopez. I think he hits hard enough to get out of trouble. I think he hits hard enough to where his opponent at 140 is conscious that he's there. But I don't think he's knocking anybody out at 140. I just don't think he's knocking it. And I definitely don't think he's knocking Liam Paro out at 140. I don't see that happening on no day. Liam Paro's bigger. Liam Paro's very light on his feet. Liam Paro is a quintessential boxer. Liam Paro is very consistent as well. And we have to talk about the mental factor. I look at Liam Paro. He's the only one who wanted smoke with Matias. Nobody else wanted smoke with him. Nobody else was trying to fight him. You got to give him credit for that. And I think that just shows his mental toughness, if you ask me. And I don't see him looking at Teofimo Lopez like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy. Well, you're going to impose your will because you're the bigger guy. You're going to be consistent throughout the fight. And you're going to nullify all his...
Now, Kambosos has shown a willingness to fight fire with fire in the past.
That's for sure. I see Liam Paro beating all these guys. And I don't care what sequence you have. It could be Liam Paro with, Valencia. It doesn't matter. It could be Liam Paro with Puello. It doesn't matter. It could be Liam Paro with Lopez. It doesn't matter. I think he smokes all these guys. I think Teofimo Lopez is the one that he has the most difficulties with. But I think he smokes all these guys. I think Puello just loses his confidence, and I think it will end up being a shutout. I see Valencia. I just think that's gonna be a shutout as well. Quite frankly, he didn't look like he wanted to stand his ground with Pitbull. You don't want to stand your ground with Pitbull. Liam Paro is a lot bigger than Pitbull. A lot bigger than Pitbull. And he can box. Pitbull just knows how to brawl. He can actually box. And he's a lot bigger. So that's going to be a problem. And he's not just a problem. Like, Pitbull's just a problem. He's up close and personal. Liam Paro is a problem at distance. And he's a problem up close and personal. I just think no matter how you shuffle this thing, I think Liam Paro comes out on top. I think he beats all these guys. I think he wins in this tournament. Liam Paro. Drop your thoughts down below.